Hello, hi, and welcome to this random reading vlog, which is getting started a bit earlier than I meant it to. Maybe I'll have an intro clip to this, maybe I won't, maybe we'll just jump in. If so, hi, I'm Jen from the book Refuge, and for Memorial Day weekend, I put up a poll asking if people were interested if I did a reading vlog. You guys picked yes. I figured you would pick yes. And as a very quick, again, intro to this, because I ended up starting one of the books that I'm planning for this, and I can't be patient, so here we go. I'm planning to do a new releases reading weekend. So the 5 books that I know for sure that I want to read is Filthy Hot by Serena Akeroyd, A Kiss for a Kiss by Helena Hunting, A Touch of Malice by Scarlet Sinclair, When Heroes Fall by Giana Darling, and Blame It on the Tequila by Fiona. Those are the 5 books that literally came out this week, and I want to try to read them this weekend. They're all by authors that I really like, and they're all books that I've been highly anticipating. The reason why this is a ratchet beginning to the vlog is that I am here doing reading sprints with The Love in the Night. They're happening up there on my screen. And I'm having some din-din, and I decided to start Filthy Hot because I was patient all day. I finished up some other books I was in the middle of, and Filthy Hot I have been anticipating since January, and I'm reading it right now. And it just started, and it's already breaking me into pieces. The author had this amazing trigger warning page at the beginning where she talks about wanting to honor sexual assault survivors and how she's going to how she wishes she could hurt everyone who's ever hurt someone, but in her book she will make sure that they bleed. I'm sold. So I don't have more to say than this. Again, this is a quick intro, but I'm starting one of the books, and so I wanted to start this reading vlog so that I've started it at the beginning. I believe this one is about Aiden Jr. I think this one's about Aiden Jr. and then a girl that I don't know who it is yet. I don't remember. I don't know who his partner is. I think Savannah is her name from what I saw in the beginning, but I don't know. So I'm very excited to be reading this. Serena Akeroyd writes some amazing stories, and I can't wait to check in with you more this weekend. I'm starting this on Thursday night, but I'm planning to read the books for this reading vlog on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday because it's Labor Day or Memorial Day weekend. So I'll check in later. Hey, yo. Random check-in here. It's the next night. I think I'm wearing the same shirt. I don't know. Man, I totally meant to do some other updates today, but the day just got away from me. Man. But it was a successful reading day. I'm at 85% of Filthy Hot. I read 50% of it last night, which was nice. And then, another 35% of it during the day today. Work was bananas. I meant to do an update on my break, but it was just crazy. And then my boss, we just had a stressful day. There was a bunch of stuff that kept breaking, blah. But it's okay because now I get 3 days to recover. I don't have many plans at all except tomorrow night I'm going to be a part of an audiobook live show with some of my gal pals to celebrate the release of Juliet's Wolf Gone Wild on audio, which was absolutely wonderful. I got to listen to an arc of that and do a reread because I'd obviously already read that, and it was wonderful. It was so much fun to get to do that. It was the best. And yeah. Okay, so the book. The thing that I realized too is that for this readathon, or weekend reading vlog, I'm reading all new releases, which by the way, I've added another new release. I forgot that Fearless Like Us came out, which I don't know how I'm going to feel about because this series hasn't been completely giving me what I want so far, but I just can't let go of Krista and Becca Ritchie, okay? So I keep reading their books even though I'm not completely into it anymore. But I can't help myself. I have to do it. So I do. So there's another one to choose from as well. But anyway, so there's not a ton that I can say about these because they're all like brand new releases. I mean, for some of them, if some really crazy stuff happens, I'll make sure to throw up a spoiler warning so that you can, you know, skip it if you want to, if I have some things that I really have to talk about. But yeah, so with Filthy Hot, there is a trigger warning at the beginning of this one. And when I downloaded the book right when it came out to take like a picture of it, you know, so that I could post it, I saw the trigger warning and I saw what the author said about it. And it already had me really excited. Well, I mean, it was scary stuff. So I wanted to read it to you guys. Just because I thought it was important. Because there's the trigger warnings. And then she has an author's note. And this is what it says. Dear reader, light of my life, acceptor of my craziness, hopefully adorer of my feckers. There are some scenes in this one. Trust in the trigger warning. Back away, please. But you can have faith that I never write anything with the view to be gratuitous. And know this, I'm angry on your behalf. If you're a survivor, feel each hit and know that I'd make them bleed for you. With that being said, welcome back to Hell's Kitchen. May you fall for these feckers as much as you've tumbled for his brothers. May you fall for this fecker as much as you've tumbled for his brothers. Much love, Serena. So her trigger warning for this includes violence, child sexual abuse, rape, and suicide. So that's nothing quite new for Serena Akeroyd. I mean, she's had those in others, but specifically the child sexual assault, we actually see part of it. And it is something that if you've read the other books in the series, like it's been alluded to you what's happened to one of the O'Donnell brothers. And what I found particularly intriguing about this, and not to spoil things for this one, right? But even all the way back in book 1, in Filthy, which I happen to have just reread parts of because I've been recommending that book for a long time now, and I kind of wanted to reread the beginning of it because one of my friends is reading it, and I was like, you know what? I just want to remember the beginning of it. And the hero in that one, Finn, he has a distrust for something. And you just think that it's because he is kind of jaded. You know, they're mafia men. You just think that he's pretty jaded, which would be fair. And the argument that's made in that book for why he wants to live his life a certain way, you believe it. And then as you go through the series and you meet other brothers, we hear more, we are alluded more to some things that have happened. And the fact that the author planted those seeds all the way back then. The first chapter of this book, which is about Aiden Jr., is from Finn's point of view. And we get to see the event that led him to be the man that he is now. The man that we get to experience in that book 1. And I thought it was so clever. There are times when I read Serena's books that I'm irritated that she has other POVs. She isn't the only person who does this. Sophie Lark's new books have had that in the Kingmakers. And I'm like, I hate this POV. I just want to be with our hero and our heroine. But this Filthy Fecker series is very special because she puts those POVs in there. And even when I think I don't want them, then they show up. And I'm so happy that she tells a story that has more than just the POVs of her main hero and heroine. Because to see the Finn that I've known since the beginning of this series, to get to see this flashback when he's 15 years old and he sees what happens to his loved one, and to see it through his eyes, it put me right back into the conversations that he'd had in that first book. And I knew where he was coming from, and it all clicked into place. And I just think that is a really special author all the storyline she has going and all the different characters she has involved. Because this world doesn't just include the filthy feckers. It doesn't just include the 10 people throughout the couples we've met so far. It includes the MC worlds, and it includes more people that she's going to be including in it. And it just feels so important, each POV that she gets. We get a POV from Aiden Sr. in this book that I was not expecting to be in there. And then it was there, and I was weeping to see his point of view. I did not know that I needed Aiden Sr.'s POV until Serena gave it to me, and I realized, of course we needed that POV. So that's all I'm going to say for now. I'll have my final thoughts about this book. I can't imagine it be less than 5 stars. Yeah, I will let you know what I thought about that tomorrow. And then tomorrow I have a lot to do, but it's also, I have time to read as well. I wish some of these new releases were on audio. That's the only thing about loving a lot of self-published authors, is their audiobooks usually come later. But I don't care. It's fine. So, all right. I will check back in soon. Hello. Wow. This update took way longer to get to than I wanted it to, but it's 3 p.m. on Saturday, and I'm finally done with all the work that I was in the middle of doing. There was a lot of stuff. But that's what happens when the weekend before you're busy. And then, yeah, it just builds up during the week. So I was good. I was up super early, went to the gym this morning, went grocery shopping, prepared meals for the upcoming week. Filmed 2 videos, edited and put up those videos, got some stuff ready for my eBay shop, which I haven't done in forever because I'm a lazy bitch. And now it's finally time to dive back in to my books. And another book has been added to my possible TBR, which at this point, I don't know that will happen. So, but I'm also wondering, so here's the thing. Mr. Garcia by TL Swan is supposed to be out today. I saw it on a couple people's Instagrams that it was available now. But when I went to Amazon, it wasn't there. I wasn't able to get it. And I've checked 2 or 3 times and it's still not. So I'm sure there's a glitch or something. But if that TL Swan book ends up being available this weekend, I'm either going to bump one of the other ones or try to squeeze it in. But now that I can finally read, we'll get some stuff done. Because I still am only at 88% of Filthy Hot, but I wanted to film a little clip, even though this won't be that long, just because it's already Saturday afternoon and I haven't filmed anything. And I look cute, right? When I look cute, I gotta film a clip because it doesn't happen all the time. I did finally, this is really fun. I bought another new tumbler because one of my tumblers, or both of them, always seem to be dirty. And my friend Crystal, hey Crystal, she does this drink where she mixes coconut flavoring with lime and she puts it with her Diet Coke. And it has taken me forever to find coconut flavoring because none of the stores in my town have it. And so I finally went ahead and ordered a bottle just from the manufacturer of it, as well as a pineapple and a peach flavor. And I finally made the drink, and it's everything I've been promised. So yeah, so now I'm going to dive back in. Hopefully I'll pop back in either when I finish this one or then started the next one. I still don't know which one I'm going to read next. I think I'm going to go with A Kiss for a Kiss because I want to like mix it up. And then after Kiss for a Kiss, if Mr. Garcia is available, I'll probably start that one. Otherwise I'll start When Heroes Fall. So that's where we are with everything. I just wanted to pop in and say hey because this is a vlog and I forget to film clips. But anyway, okay. Peace out. Hey. Check in from an old familiar place. Hanging out on my couch. Okay. Camera on. Okay. So, update. I finished Filthy Hot, which was, of course, wonderful. And the author's note at the end was so beautiful. And I love Serena Akeroyd. She's amazing. So I did decide to read A Kiss for a Kiss. That is what I'm reading right now. I'm already almost halfway through it. It's funny because this book is literally half the size that Filthy Hot was. Filthy Hot was like 520 pages, and this one is 226. So I'm flying through this one. I would be finished with it before the live show tonight, but I need to change clothes and fix my makeup and have something to eat first, because I'm sure we'll yak for a long time. But yeah, okay. A Kiss for a Kiss. This is about Hannah, who is Ryan Kingston's sister slash mom, which isn't as weird as it sounds. And then Jake, who is Queenie's dad. So from A Secret for a Secret, it's these two characters. And they end up spending a lot of time together while helping plan the wedding of their kids. And we start off the book in the prologue with them fooling around. They know that this can't be anything serious. She doesn't want to ruin her relationship with Ryan, and they just are both having some fun. And then this is a surprise pregnancy book. So that's the trope. That's the thing. They're both over 40. There is a very important note at the beginning of this one as well from Helena Hunting about the triggers for this, because there is talk of Hannah has previously had infertility issues as well as a miscarriage. And so there definitely is talk of that. You know, that is one of my sensitivity areas as well. So just got to share that with you. But what is also very interesting is that literally both of them have had a surprise pregnancy when they were very young. Like for her, she was, I think, a teenager. And for him, he was 20 years old and got his girlfriend pregnant. And then he raised Queenie on his own. And whereas Hannah, she made the choice to have her parents raise Ryan and her to be like his sister. So they both have very different situations, but they both were very young parents who didn't have, let's say, the full experience of it back then. And so this is them now at the other end of the spectrum, you know, where they are both very well established. And this is a pregnancy that for Hannah, she had always wanted to try to have more kids. You know, she was married for 15 years and they struggled to have children, as I stated. And so for her, she has been perimenopausal for a while and she did not think that she could get pregnant, hence them not using protection one time. And so for her, even though there are so many mixed emotions, and of course she's scared about things or how it could go, this is a chance that she only could have like seen as a miracle. And so, you know, of course for Jake, he's thinking like, I finally have my daughter married. I can finally like live my life without being responsible for someone. And then he's feeling like he's going back to square one. So, you know, in kind of the beginning of this, they're coming at that from different places. But what's also amazing, and my friend Tiffany said it really well when she was reading this book, is that it is such a mature look at a surprise pregnancy where the communication is excellent. This is a surprise baby, but it's not a secret baby. Those are different things. There's great communication right from the beginning, and I'm very interested to see how this plays out, even though I'm scared. I've already literally teared up, which is why I was like, I better film a clip quick. But it's so beautiful. Like, it really is. It's beautiful already. And I have liked how Helena Hunting has done babies in the past, like surprise babies or pregnancies in the past. And I mean, I'm really scared because I know it's going to be emotional. But I mean, I have a gut feeling this is going to be an HEA kind of story. And she's not going to burn me. But there's still, she writes it in a way that you are anxious. Like, you are aware that this is already would have been high risk for Hannah. Then we add in being over 40 and being perimenopausal. Like, there are a lot of things that could go wrong. And I don't think excited is the right word, but I am prepared to see it all go down. And this is a nice break from the dark romance. And then I don't know what I'm going to read next. I was just talking with Tiffany about it. Of whether I will jump into A Touch of Malice, or I'm waiting for Mr. Garcia to drop, or what I'm going to read. I might go old school. Well, not old school, but I might throw out my spinner wheel. But maybe we'll just see what I feel drawn to. And if I don't feel drawn to one of them after this, then I'll spin my spinner wheel. So, okay. I'm going to get a little more dressed for the live show. Not that they care, but, like, I care. I get really, like, warm when I sit in front of my light. So I need to put on, like, something cute but less warm than my sweater and also I picked up, when I went shopping today, I picked up stuff for a peach Bellini. So it's like a wine spritzer, or it's white wine mixed with this like mixer. And when I drink, I also get really red, so I need to touch up my makeup and make it good. But anyway, okay, I'll check in when I make some more progress. Hey, yeah, my hair is a little bit crazy because the wind it always gets me in Fargo. That's just how it is. But thought I would do a Sunday afternoon update. Can I express how excited I am that I have all of the rest of today and all of tomorrow to read? Like, I'm so excited about it. I'm so happy. So, yeah, I wasn't planning to go to church today because I was going to let myself just, like, not do anything all weekend. But then I realized that I will be sad that I didn't see my friends today. So I was up early and I was like, you know what? Let's just go. And I was really glad I did, because I will have the next, 36 hours where I don't see people. So it was a good choice. So, yeah, I went to church. We went and had... I had chicken sliders, but we went to this pizza place that's really good, but I had the chicken sliders, which was yummy. And then I stopped by Barnes & Noble because some books I was waiting for are finally in. Sorry for the up close of my nose, but let me show you. So some places were getting Neon God super early, and I've checked like 3 times, but I finally got it. So pretty. I wonder if this will stay here, but I'm so happy to have it. This like has a map in it and everything. It's so good. I just love the cover. I got to see the cover of the next one, which is called Electric Idol, which is the that one's gonna be Eros and Psyche, and I'm very excited for it. But there it is, supporting my girl Katie Robert, who, I don't know, she's just such a cool human. So even, like, and I honestly enjoy most of her books, even though some of them do feel very similar in nature to me. Like, I know exactly what I'm getting from her. There's always strong women, possessive men, very sexy, and I really like it. And she recently just announced that she's redoing her schedule because in 2021, she was going to end up writing 3 menages, which was just too many for her, because she's like, it's tough for me to find new inspiration when I'm writing all of those in a row. So that means that she's going to bring up doing the 2nd generation of her Mafia series, which wasn't going to happen until like late 2022, and now it's going to happen now because she's like, I just have to rearrange it. Excuse me. Choking on my spit. So I'm not mad about that at all. I mean, I'll be excited for whatever book she puts out, so I'm not mad about it. But I can't say that I'm not excited for that to switch around, because I'm really liking the Sabine Valley books. I am. But I'm okay with her pushing them off as well for me to get the Daughters of the O'Malleys and stuff like that. So then the other new release, which I really want to support the author, even though I'm scared of what this book is going to do to me. But I did pick up Lizzie and Dante by Mary Bly. So if you don't know, Mary Bly is the real name of Eloisa James. So Eloisa James, she is a literature professor, like at a college, and she has been the whole time she's written books. She is a very educated, brilliant woman, but Eloisa James is her romance pen name. And so this is her first one that is under her name. So I'm a little nervous to read it, just because it is one where the heroine has an illness diagnosis. And she decides to go on vacation for some of her like last days, and she meets this single dad and his daughter and their dog on the beach one day, and they start to fall right away, and she falls for his kid. And so I'm scared to read it, but either way I had to own it. It's an absolutely beautiful cover, and Eloisa James I have read, except for her very first trilogy, which is on my TBR. Like, I own them all. I've read every book that she's written, and so I just had to buy this, even though I'm scared. But I believe it's still supposed to be a romance, but I don't know for sure. Like, I don't know for sure. I don't know, but she is married to an Italian knight as well, which is cool. So I still hopefully will give it a try at some point, but again, I had to buy it because I love the lady so much. And it's funny because she has a TikTok, but she doesn't have a lot of followers yet. Mostly, I think, because she doesn't completely know what she's doing with it, but she follows me on TikTok, which is exciting. Like, she just found me on there. Like, I didn't even search her out, but one of my book hauls I did on TikTok, I had one of her books in it, and she found me, so it was really cute. So then, a couple other books that I did get. I can't remember. I think I showed Filthy Hot yesterday. Maybe not, but it came in the mail. Even though, so I finished this last night, which I think we already talked about that. Sorry. It's been a crazy day. I can't remember, but it was in my stack because I have to add it into my spreadsheet. And then this one, I own the other books in the series, but I haven't read them yet. And then I saw this cover and I had to have it because it has a plus size model on the cover and I had to have it. So it is The Undercover Duke, and it's part of the Duke Dynasty by Sabrina Jeffries. I still have yet to read a Sabrina Jeffries. She is on my list of authors to try in 2021, so I should probably get on that. But this one, like, that's a genuine, like, looks like a plus size model to me, or at least the way they have it framed. And I love that. Like, it looks so, I don't know, she looks beautiful. So I had to grab it just for the cover of it, and I do own the other books in the series, so I was like, let's just get it. I want to support when I see people like me on the cover of books, you know? I want to see that. So I'll find out when I read it if it really is plus size or if it's just how it looks, but I'm very pleased with it. Sarah McLean's new book, Hell's Bells, well, it also has a plus size, more normal look. I wouldn't even say like plus size, but just like normal looking woman on the cover, which makes me happy. So I grabbed that as well. So I stopped at Barnes & Noble and did that, but now I took some Instagram photos and I made a TikTok, and I have my drink already. I did make because I bought some fresh limes and I want to use them up, so I did make the coconut lime Coke again in my book Refuge mug. So let's talk about the actual reading now. So I finished A Kiss for a Kiss last night, right before bed. And I have some mixed feelings. As a whole, the story was very good. As I said, this is an over 40 surprise baby, second chance romance for both of them. Not together, but they've both had loves before. And kind of a last chance pregnancy for the heroine. She tried unsuccessfully to have a kid with her husband, and she had a miscarriage, and now she gets pregnant when she thinks she's actually going into menopause, and it's actually pregnancy. And so the thing is that this book, guys, it had so little angst in it, and it was beautiful to see such mature, thought through communication, which when you think about it, if it was two people who are like in their mid 40s to late 40s, you know, like 45 years old, they are hopefully going to be more mature adults. You know, they're going to not miscommunicate. Like, they're going to try their best and do that. And the thing is, that totally happens in this book. They communicate very well. There are very little things that they can't work through, and they choose to put the good of the baby first, and they always have the baby in mind when they make their decisions, and it's beautiful. The thing that made this hard for me is that I love Helena hunting. Specifically, her books that are done with either, that are like self-published or indie published. I haven't read, besides one, I've only read one of her traditionally published books, and I haven't heard great things about the other ones. But I love her books, and this one was not up to the same par as those in regards to steam-wise. This book, and I'm sorry that I'm nitpicking this, but it really took me out of the story because I was like, this doesn't feel like a Helena hunting, because that trademark sexiness was just gone. Like, the whole thing was just a step-by-step through a pregnancy, which, that isn't a bad thing, but the characters were having sex. Like, sex was happening, but we didn't get to see anything. There was one scene at the beginning that was a full sex scene, and then everything else was a fade to black. Or not even a fade to black, mentioned that they'd had sex, but we didn't see it. And then at the end, the very end of the book, there was a, like, they started and then it was a fade to black. Like, started and it was happening, but we didn't finish. So I just felt very, like, cock-blocked by Helena hunting, and that was weird to me because she has some of my favorite steam. Like, I love the Puck series and the other books in the All In series, and, like, I know she was going for a more mature vibe with this one, but then two things. It shouldn't have been in the same series then if you're not going to continue on with the same level you started at. And, like, number two, again, the characters were having sex. We just didn't see any of it. And I didn't feel a lot of the romance that was happening. Like, they were making a lot of decisions for the baby, which is good, but I didn't get to see them romancing each other at all. And for me, even if we're doing this, like, for the baby, they're choosing to stay together. So if they're choosing to stay together, like, I want to see the romance happening. So I was disappointed, and that led me to, I will be rating this a 3.5 star. I will round up to a 4 star just because I'm a softie and I will. But I was disappointed. This was not the same quality of other Helena hunting, and I don't know if it's, she felt, I don't know what the reason is, but I was disappointed. I kept waiting, and all of a sudden I was at 75% and there hadn't been any more sex. And I messaged my friend and I was like, is this seriously, like, this closed door? And she was like, yeah, it is. So, all right, this clip is getting really long, so I'll just tell you what we're at. So before I fell asleep last night, I started A Touch of Malice, but I'm only in chapter 2. And then at church today, instead of starting an arc like I usually do, my next arcs aren't due until the end of June, so I don't have to start them quite yet. I started Mr. Garcia, which took all fucking day to be available. Like, Amazon is, like, pretty fucked up right now. Like, just hearing it from, like, I was on the live show with Juliet last night on Jessen's channel, and she's saying, like, not to repeat, like, the stuff that she said because I don't want to whatever, but, like, Amazon is causing many authors a lot of problems getting stuff up. So I won't say what for or whatever because it's not to be shared with everyone, but I don't know if you guys have noticed that with books that you love, but things are pretty delayed. So my plan right now is I want to do some, like, reading sprints. So I think that I might read, like, an hour of one and then an hour of the other, and then whichever one, like, sucks me in, I'll, like, go with it. But right now, I really want to dive into Mr. Garcia and just read a good chunk of that. I don't know enough what it's about to really do an update yet, besides, I know that it's an age gap. She's 25, he's, like, late 30s, so I'm guessing, like, 37, 38. They meet when she is at a coffee shop, and she makes him a really bad coffee, and when he leaves, she sees him, like, take a sip of it and then, like, throw it away, but he comes back the next day and the next day, and she's like, he likes me. And we get his POV, and he's he doesn't want to seem like a creep because he's like, I'm older than her. I don't want to seem like a lecherous person, even though he's this beautiful, hot, like, Italian man. He's like, I'm going to keep going until she asks me out. So he's decided this. And so he keeps coming back, and she's like, he likes me because he's coming back and getting this horrible coffee, and he's not saying anything about it. Well, at the same time, she hears about this, it's called Club Exotic, where her ex-roommate, or a friend, I don't know if his roommate, was able to make enough money where she could pay her own rent, because she's 25, going to law school, and, like, living in dorms, which I didn't even know was a thing. And she doesn't want to be, like, living there anymore because her neighbor has really loud sex all the time. So she goes to apply for this job at Club Exotic. Well, it turns out she was going to work as a bartender, but she gets asked to be one of their club girls, which supposedly isn't the same as, like, being a hooker, because you spend the night with a guy, but you don't have to have sex. But that's really, like, what the rules, like, they can't make you have sex with a guy, but usually people do. Well, who should be there her first night of work but Sebastian? And his gut reaction is to be super pissed that she's at this club. But here's the thing. He's also at the club. And he was at the club where he was probably going to have sex with someone. So I want more information. Like, I'm only 10% in, so I'm not judging him too harshly yet. But the fact that, like, he was at the club to have sex with people, but then he's mad that the girl that he thought was hot is at the club to have sex with people. And so that hypocritical attitude has me a little pissy, but I trust TL Swan. We'll see where it goes. Like, I'm not mad at it. I'm sure there's going to be a reason. I was just like, whoa, I hope you're not slut-shaming this girl, because you went to the club to have sex. So why are you upset that she was there and is going to make money being one of the girls who has sex? Like, it's so double standard. But I'm ready to see more. And then Touch of Malice, honestly, it's like tough because I don't remember a ton about the other two. So I'm having to, like, dive back in and remember everything that happened in the first two books. And I keep hearing from everyone that it has a rough cliffhanger, and the next one's not coming out till late 2022. So I'm, like, hesitant to love that book because I'm not going to get another one for a really long time. But anyway, okay, this was a ridiculously long update. I will check back in with you later tonight and tell you what I ended up reading on Sunday. I'm literally not going to talk for more than a couple seconds, but I just have to make a point that I'm at 20% into Mr. Garcia. And what the actual fuck just happened? Literally, I had no context clue. I had no idea what was just about to happen. And so I just have to document this. That a 20% a thing happened. And my brain is exploding. And that's all that I'm going to say. I'm going to go back now. And we'll talk about it later. But what happened?
Okay. This is the lazy version of this because I don't want to hold it right now. Alright, so it is many hours later. That book took me a while to get through. Wow. I know that I only did a tiny little clip because I was having some feels. But what's crazy is that particular scene that, like, made me flip my shit is only one of the crazy things that happened in this book. What's kind of funny is that this book, in a lot of ways, had certain pieces that reminded me of The Stopover. In the fact that there was lots of circular arguments that would happen. But in regards to this one, I know I'm being pretty vague. This book, as I have said multiple times, like, the books in this vlog, I'm trying to be a little more cautious than I normally am just because they just came out. So I don't just want to blow a lot of things out of the water. But in the stopover, one of the reasons that I don't love it as much is because there's these like circular arguments that happen. And to be honest, that's a weakness that TL Swan has in a lot of her books. It's something that happens in her first series she ever did. It happens in Our Way, where there'll be one argument and our characters just never move past it. That doesn't happen a ton in this one, because we're dealing with Sebastian pretty early on in this book. There is a time jump, like I'll share that. Like they meet when she's 25 and he's like about 36, I guess would be 36, and then there's something that happens at that 20% mark, and then we have a time jump, which you guys know that is something that I don't like. However, because of the magnitude of the issue, these two did need a break. Like there was no way that at that moment they were gonna fix what goes down. Okay, what goes down. That's what we'll call it. What goes down. And then when we come back into our lives, she is a lawyer, having finished law school, and he is the deputy prime minister, so kind of like the VP. If you're in the US, he's kind of like the vice president. And she ends up being assigned to his legal team, and so that's how they re-meet. So that's kind of the setup of this, and this guy has I don't know how to say it, but I was more forgiving of like Sebastian's issues than I was of Jameson's issues because there is some serious things kind of going on with Sebastian that I feel like Jameson was just kind of being a douche. If that's the nice way to say it. But yeah, I am gonna end up giving this book a 4.5 star. I rate it as a 5. A lot of people will say like there's so many bonkers things. It's late. There was some really good sexy times as always. TL Swan knows how to bring it. There's some role playing that happens, and it gets pretty hot. It gets pretty hot, but there definitely is a lot of crazy stuff going down in Funky Town and just in everything that's going on. So it was a ride. Like, it took me so long too, because this is something that happens with books that I'm really anticipating. I read them slower than I would normally read. You know, like I slow it way down. Also, as I've said, like I don't have any audiobooks for any of these. Like I thought I would get through more books today. I really only read the one. And that's because, number one, this was like a 400 plus page book and I was reading it pretty slowly. So if I don't get through the 7 that I had planned, I knew that I probably wouldn't get through that many. That's okay, you know. But yeah, all in all, I mean, it was good. It was the TL Swan. Like, she writes very addicting characters. She writes very addicting relationships to me. And this is definitely not the most toxic that I've seen. I actually feel like our heroine made some really good choices that I liked. And there was a couple of situations where I wanted to bang my head against the wall, but I've seen worse, is I guess what I want to say. Like the fighting in Our Way, I love Our Way, but the fighting in that one got to me. You know, like it got to me where I was like, you guys, are you together or you're not? Now, talking about a couple cameos, because I don't really feel like this is a spoiler. I feel like I should have known who this was about, but the way that TL Swan does her blurbs, she does it from the POV of the heroine. So she says, like, I met Mr. Garcia. So I didn't know the name of our heroine until I started reading this. So our heroine, April, she is the sister of Eliza from Our Way. So we see a mention of Eliza and Nathan, which was cute because I was like, oh, my babes. And then obviously the other men from the Mr. series, we see Julian and Spencer the most. But we do get some cameos from the Miles brothers. So we see Jameson briefly, and then Tristan and Claire as well, which I was like, I was freaking out, of course. So I don't feel like that's spoilers, because I remember Mr. Garcia from The Takeover. When I saw the title of the book, I was like, oh, it's that guy from The Takeover, because there is, when they go to the art show in The Takeover, Spencer and Julian and Garcia are all there because the Miles brothers and the Misters, they all went to boarding school together in the UK. So there we go. Okay, that was enough update about this. So I was gonna go back to Touch of Malice, but I feel like Touch of Malice is gonna take me a while to read. I made it about 16% into that when I was doing reading sprints today, which I read an hour of that, and then I was switching back to Mr. Garcia, and then I didn't put Mr. Garcia back down, so I ended up reading that all day. So I'm gonna start When Heroes Fall, because I for sure want to fit that one into this vlog, and so depending on the length of that one, I might be reading that one all day tomorrow, because I do want to try to film another video. I'm going to a Memorial Day service in the morning, and I need to go to the gym. I gotta stay up on that. So you know how I am. By the time I've done all of those things, it'll probably be afternoon again, and I'll finish one. But it's about 11 o'clock right now. The service isn't until 10:30 tomorrow, so probably gonna stay up. We'll see how soon I get sleepy, though. I will try to read a good chunk of When Heroes Fall, which I don't know much about, because I didn't read the 2 previous series that lead into this one, because I didn't want to read the Evolution of Sin series, and then I've just never gotten to the Enthralled duet. I wanted to, but I just never did. Didn't happen. And I'm told, I know I'll be fine. I trust that Giana will explain anything that I need to know within the context of the book, because that's usually how it goes. So I already know my best friend loved it. She loves Giana Darling's books, and she's the one who first mentioned this series to me when it came about, and we're really excited for it. So okay, that's enough. This vlog is going to be so long. I'll probably do 1 or 2 clips tomorrow as well, and then this thing's going to be super long, but that's fine. Okay, I need to take out my makeup, because I literally didn't want to stop reading to do that, and so I usually don't leave makeup on my face till this late at night, but whatever. Okay, we'll chat tomorrow.
Hey, so I was just going to power through the book and not do a check-in, because I'm not really any further than I was last night. I only read the first 3 chapters of When Heroes Fall last night, just because I was tired, or so I thought, and then I ended up staying looking at TikTok until way too late at night, because I'm a trash human, and it's fine. It is the late afternoon. It's almost evening. It's 5:30 already. So I really want to plow through this book. I'm only at 13%, but I just wanted you to see my face now, and then you'll see it at the end, because I'll do a final check-in. The basic setup of this book is that Helena Lombardi, she is asked to be on the legal team of Dante, let's see, I forgot what his name is already. Dante something, I don't even know. They've met before because he knows her sister Cosima. I haven't read, again, I only know about one of Elena's sisters, and that's the one that was cheating on her fiance, cheating with her fiance on her. Elena is, yeah, she's a badass lawyer chick, and she gets asked to be on the legal team for this mafioso Dante, who has got caught on RICO charges, and she wants to stay far, far away from him. He is charismatic. He laughs so much. He is this big, ginormous man who is full of laughter and happiness, which is weird. He is actually the brother to a duke, which is bonkers. And yeah, I have a feeling that this is going to be kind of a reverse Grumpy Sunshine trope, which I wasn't expecting. So we'll see if that's true or not. I don't think that he would be Sunshine, but Helena is definitely kind of grumpy. so far already, there's trigger warnings for infertility in here. Helena had an ectopic pregnancy 5 years ago, and she's working towards healing her fertility. But yeah, that's all that I really know so far. And I'm planning to just like plow through this. I'll need to eat dinner soon, but otherwise than that, I'm going to read this and then I will wrap this up and get this vlog up tomorrow. My plan is to have this go up on Tuesday. So I'm going to do my best to do that. So I will check in with you when I finish this book. Hi, hello, friends. It is time to wrap up this long weekend reading vlog of new releases. All right, we did it. I just finished When Heroes Fall just minutes ago, and I'm still reeling. I wasn't expecting that it was a happy for now in this one, since it's a duet. Like, that has been known the entire time. It's going to be When Heroes Fall and When Villains Rise. So I was actually expecting like a cliffhanger. And I mean, there are definitely things up in the air, but as for like the couple, they have, you know, made a decision. And it was really beautiful. Like, guys, this book was so amazing. I've never read a capo quite like Dante Salvatore. I just have not read someone like him before. He's so complex, and I mean, I'm sure I'm just going to learn more about him. And I haven't read the Enslaved, Enthralled books, so I haven't seen how he was with Cosima, but he literally calls Cosima his best friend, which is so interesting to me because I haven't read that duet. And I made the choice not to read any of the books ahead of time. I did read the first book in the Evolution of Sin trilogy, and I was not having a good time, but I know that one was about Giselle and Sin, and so I just made the choice that that was not a couple that I wanted to read their story. And I have to tell you, seeing things in Elena's point of view, I love her. And I know that that series would have made her very like complex to me. And I'm never going to say never, particularly because I am so interested in this series that Giana Darling conceived of when she was a teenager. And I'm always fascinated when an author has talent that young and writes the kind of stories that is. Like, that is just like mind-boggling to me. So I don't ever want to say never. There's so many things about that couple that like I don't think I would enjoy. But I definitely want to read about Giselle and Alexander, like, for sure. But I'll probably still finish this duet first. The next one comes out, I think it's supposed to come out in just a few weeks. It says June 18th in the book, but I heard that maybe that got pushed out a little bit. Either way, I'm going to grab it as soon as it comes out. I'm giving it 5 stars. I can't see anything that I want to deduct a point for. I love them. Helena is almost like asexual at the beginning of this book. And I still don't fully know like what her trauma was, but there are feelings that she's having. I mean, I feel a lot of like kinship with her in some aspects. Like, I'm 27. I wish I had a family and kids at this point. I don't have the same issues that she does, but there are certain aspects at times where we all like feel unlovable when we're at a certain age and we're single. Cosima is kind of actively like rejecting any advances people put towards her, but then she comes up against someone like Dante that instead of taking it as a hit to their masculinity or feeling like he needs to show her who's boss in the normal way, he laughs. He laughs in her face, and in not a like cruel or mocking way, but in a like, he's fascinated, he is obsessed.
And there's a point in this story where he realizes that the way that he can tame her, to gentle her, is to just hold himself open to her. And just, he will win her by loving her. That's what he says. And man, does he. And there's a whole, like, we're not even talking about the plot of this. Dante is on trial for murder. There's a forced proximity situation where she ends up needing to live with him. He has an ankle monitor where, he has an ankle monitor where he can't leave his home. So he like buys out the entire apartment complex so he can move his men in with him so that he can still do the business as being a capo without ever leaving, which is just brilliant. Like, it's just brilliant. And he throws this like big party for this certain celebration and just like laughs and is joyful. And he has certain rules for Helena, but it's rules of just like, hey, I just want you to relax a little bit and be respectful of the people in my life, because just because you see them as criminals, they still deserve respect. You know, they still don't deserve to be looked down on or mistreated just because you're a grouchy bitch. And he says that, and it's true. And the thing is like Helena knows that. She knows that she's a prickly cactus who just needs someone to be willing to take those barbs so that she can be held. You know, and there's a part of the book too where she says he's seducing her with just these small touches, and that for a good period of time it's just, he's an affectionate man. I love reading about people like that where there isn't always something sexual in a touch of a person, but he's affectionate with his men. He kisses his some of his men on both cheeks, which is like sort of the Italian thing, but also, you know, he touches people's shoulders and pets people's hair, and I love that when it is that like supportive, gentle touch. And he just breaks so many molds of like a capo that you have set in your head. And he's just, I feel like he's this huge guy, huge and strong and powerful. And it's not like he feels like, I feel like gentle giant's like the wrong terminology to use for him. But also that's like the vision, like whenever they were interacting and she's just fighting their chemistry, and not just their sexual chemistry, like just fighting their natural chemistry of like back and forth. She's fighting it so hard. And he's just like poke, poke, poke. And they just have this natural chemistry just when they talk to each other. And it's really beautiful. So I loved it. It was 5 stars. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this vlog up. I still need to get it edited and uploaded so that it can post tomorrow morning, because I want this to go up. But this was a lot of fun. There was, you know, I had 7 possible books I wanted to read and we didn't get to all of them. I did make it like, I feel like I made it about like 50 pages into this one. This is one that I will be reading very soon. I just got my paperbacks in the mail today. I also got a Kiss for a Kiss in, so that's cool. So I will try to get to that one very soon. But thank you so much for joining me for this vlog. And yeah, make sure you check out all my links and stuff down below if you're interested in becoming a channel member or connecting with my other social medias. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. Bye.